Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog. My name is Toma, Photo Tom here on YouTube, and today I'm going to discuss about authenticity versus originality. In landscape photography, I think it's very needed for these two topics to be talked about. And the main subjects from today, or the summary of this video, is going to be one, what it means to be original landscape photography. Is it hard to be original? What it means to be authentic in landscape photography, how to be authentic, and what's more important, to be original or to be authentic. So let's start with the first topic, and that is to talk about what it means to be original in landscape photography. And I think originality it's by far the hardest thing that you could try to do in photography. There are other types of photography, for example, creative photography, where the need for original content is really big, and you will succeed if you are truly original. And even though the quality of your photos will not be that great, for example, still, if the work is original, then it's going to be appreciated. Now, in landscape photography, it's a little bit more difficult. And originality is defined by the dictionary like interesting in a way that is different from anything that has existed before, able to produce new and interesting ideas. So as a landscape photographer, you would have to create something different. And you have two options to do this. The first option is to travel to a location nobody photographed before, which is, I think, almost impossible in today's world of internet. I think every place has been photographed so many times, but you can go and photograph like I'm going. For example, I'm based in Romania. A lot of the landscapes in Romania are very well known among Romanian photographers, but for you, if you're watching, for example, from United States or United Kingdom or Germany or India or whatever other country you are watching, then those kind of landscapes are basically unknown for you. You don't know the places. So in a way, I'm being original because I'm marketing my photos to people that don't know about those locations. And I think this can be one way in which you can kind of be original. The second option that you have is to travel to famous places, because everyone loves to photograph in famous places, but have a different approach. And that is so hard to achieve. And believe me, when I first visited, for example, the Dolomite Mountains, I was so blown away by how these mountains looked, and I wanted to take all those famous photos of famous places. And now, after a couple of years of organizing workshops, I see the same behavior in my participants. They come, they see for the first time the Dolomites, and they are so impressed, and they really want those iconic shots of iconic places. Well, I have those shots now, and I can afford to go for a different approach and to interpret the landscape in a completely different way. But it came in time. So let's talk about, is it hard to be original? Well, the short answer is yes and no, and let me explain. If you visit only famous places, then it's not impossible to be original, but it's going to be very hard. And as I said before, you need to travel to the same place over and over again just to feel the place and to understand the location that better, and to also have the iconic photos of iconic places. And now you can afford to concentrate on photographing something completely different. If you visit, again, places that are not that well known, which is as I said, I think it's almost impossible, but still you can kind of look original by presenting those places to people that don't know what those places are. Another short story, when I first visited Bryas Lake in the Dolomites, there were only other, I think, 3 or 4 photographers for the sunrise over there. And just go now and you'll have a ton of people for the sunrise. Now let's talk about what it means to be authentic in landscape photography. Authenticity means that even if you photograph a famous place, and even if you photograph an iconic place with an iconic subject, you do it your own way. You do it in a way that is specific to you, and this means you know your own voice in photography, and you really know what you really like. Being authentic means that you understand what you like about the place. What are the elements that made you stop? I mean, it sounds so obvious, but believe me, it's so hard to achieve. And let me ask you this: how many times you stopped into a place because you saw something you liked? You took a photo, you went home, you opened the photo in Photoshop or Lightroom, and you wonder yourself, why have I stopped? It's nothing interesting in this photo. And that is because you were not authentic. It's because you did not realize the true reason for which you stopped there. You have to focus on that element that you really like. And let's talk about now of how to be authentic. Well, in order for you to be authentic is to photograph, as I said, in your own way. Well, how you photograph in your own way, let me give you a short and very powerful tip. Starting with your next photo shoot, every time you take a photo, before you take it, you ask yourself, what am I photographing here? What is the element that drew my attention? And you give yourself an answer. There are two elements. What am I photographing here? And the answer. And when you receive an answer from yourself, you photograph exactly that. Now, it might not be the best answer possible, but it's going to be an answer. And you focus on that element, you frame it, you expose it, you make it sharp, you look for a composition that supports it, and when you add it in a way that that element comes to life and that element pops. Do this every time you take a photo, and I guarantee that in a very short period of time, your style will start to come to life. Your authenticity, your authentic voice as a landscape photographer will come in place and will simply jump out of you. Now, if you're going to do all this short and small and easy to do exercise, you'll notice one of these things. Number one, you'll photograph less because you concentrate more on what exactly is the element that you like. Two, you'll be much more aware of what exactly is around you. Sometimes we are so focused on getting the shot and photographing all the things that are around us that we lose perspective. We don't enjoy ourselves in nature. Number three, you'll start noticing subjects much faster because it's going to be an ongoing exercise, and at some point you develop a habit and you start to see the landscape in a different way. Number four, you'll enjoy photography more because now you have a system in place and you have a direction in which to evolve. And number five, you'll not get bored even if you go back in the same location over and over again, simply because you're searching for yourself. And number six, finally, you'll begin to know yourself. And that is why I always say that if you are true to your landscape photography, it's almost like a journey of self-discovery, and it's a way of you knowing what you really like. Now, what's more important? Bottom line, originality versus authenticity. What matters the most? Well, if you can be original, but it's going to be really hard finding places that are not photographed, or going in iconic places and taking photos completely different from what others made. My personal opinion is that we need a lot more authenticity in our landscape photography. And the minute we release ourselves from the burden of likes on Instagram or subscribers on YouTube, for example, for a couple of years, I was so stressed because of the number of views and the number of subscribers my YouTube channel gets. And now I came to accept that this is reality and this is my world. Every YouTube channel is like a small ecosystem, a small world, and it functions in a completely different way from all the other channels. So the minute you realize that being authentic, it's much more important than to be famous or to get likes or something like that, you'll start enjoying the journey a lot more. So this is what I have for you for today. I hope you like it. If you have something to add or to comment, use the comment section below. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, and bye bye.